Good day guys, welcome back to the King's Tutorial class. In today's video we're looking at a new series, elimination. Now, we'll be looking at some few questions, in this series. The very first three questions that we have are this. So I have to eliminate T from these three, questions. How do we go about it? Now the idea about elimination is such that you have to look for a link, in both equations, that when you substitute from the first one and apply to the second, or when you use in the first equation and apply to the second, or possibly both equations also, and apply to themselves back, you get your equation without T. So how do we go about it? Now for number one, what do we have? We have x equals to 1 plus t and y equals to what? 1 plus 1 over t. Now from here, since my t's power is 1 in both cases, it's easier to eliminate by saying make t solve the formula from either equation 1 or equation 2, then you solve. So let's go about it very quickly and get our answer. So from equation 1, which is a simpler equation, say to me. So from equation 1, what do I have? T equals to what? X minus 1. Alright? Now let's substitute T into equation what? Equation 2. Now what's my equation 2? Y equals to 1 plus 1 over T. At this point, my T is what? X minus 1. So I now have what? Y to be equals to what? 1 plus 1 over what? X minus 1. At this point, there's no T in the equation again, so I can either stop here or arrange my question or my answer to a proper way. So 1, I can say, bring 1 to the left hand side. I have y minus 1 equals 1 over x minus 1. Then I can finalize by saying y minus 1 times x minus 1 equals to 1 when I cross multiply. So, or I multiply all by x minus 1, whatever I get gives me, it is the same. The equation might look different when you apply this other method here, but when you substitute the value for x in both cases, or for y, just to test, you get the same answer. So, for number 2, what do I do here? Looking at equation 1, t's power is 3. Equation 2, t's power is what? Is 1. So the best for me to say is to say what? Make t solve the formula from what? Equation 1 and equation 2. So at this point, multiplying all by t, I have ty equals to 2t, right, plus 1. If you do that very well. At this point, bring this to the left, I have ty minus 2t, okay, equals to what? Plus 1. At this point, factorize t out. T into y minus 2 equals to 1. So it means that t equals to what? 1 over what? Y minus 2. Finally, let's substitute t into equation 1. So substitute t into equation 1. What are we going to have? We're going to have x equals to 3 plus what? My t now is what? Okay, is a longer equation. 1 over what? Y minus 2. All to the power what? 3. At this point, I can bring x to the left. X minus 3 equals to what? Squaring that and cubing that, I have 1 over what? Y minus 2. All to the power what? 3. So, again, I can stop here or cross multiply to have what? X minus 3 into what? Y minus 2 all cubed, all equals to what? 1. Very good. Then finally, for number 3, equation 1, right? So at this point, I can say from equation 1, let's make t subject of what? The formula. By saying multiply all through by t to have what? Tx equals to 1 minus t squared. Right? Okay, now the equation has become kind of complicated. So from equation 2 also, what do I have? Multiply by what? T squared. I have what? t squared y equals to 1 minus what? T squared. Now looking at this, equation 1 has been converted to this, 2 has been converted to what? This. And notice t squared, right? At this point, what I want to say is what? So eliminate t is as simple as saying from this equation and this equation, subtract, right? So subtract, let's say equation 3 and 4. So this is my 3, this is my 4. How do we go about it? That's what? Tx minus t squared y equals to 0. Why? Because this cancels out, this cancels out. At this point, I can say tx equals to what? T squared y. Alright? So t goes out, x equals to what? Ty. T is still in the equation. So from here, I can say what? T equals to what? X over y. Finally, substitute t, which is x over y, into any of these equations. Right? So for me, let's substitute it into equation 1. So I'm going to have x to be equals to what? 1 over t here is what? T here is what? X over y, okay? X over y. Then minus what? X over y. Alright? From this case, let's continue from there. X is also the same thing as what? Y over x minus x over y. If you do this very well, right? From here, multiplied by xy, I'm going to have what? X squared y equals to y squared minus what? X squared. So you can stop here, right? You can stop here, and that's the solution to what? The 3 questions, under elimination for today's video. See you in my next class.